So, after the ugliness last week, I decided to come straight to the park. In fact, for the sake of efficiency, I decided to stay here all week, and what a time I've had. I've communed with nature, I've drank the dregs from discarded beer bottles, and I met a rather wonderful badger named Ronald. Oh, well, in fact, here he is now. Ronald? Why are you looking at me like that? Oh no, not again, Ronald. Please, look, I've got to run because he's got a bastard of an hip. Just safe to say, here's the video. Bob, get the bloody bear spray! I bought this new at Essen for 50 quid. Can you believe it? This was before Asmodee said fuck the poor and started charging the earth for their games. This was the first real vindication of the legacy system. Risk was fine, Seafall made my balls shrivel up and rest somewhere behind my ears, but Pandemic Legacy Season 1 told a brilliant story, shocked and delighted, and didn't leave you with any regret that you couldn't play the game after the last session. More CBS than HBO, Pandemic Legacy Season 1 is a true experience. It is a really monumental effort and breathes new life into Pandemic. I was gutted that it fell off the #1 spot on BGG because I can't think of a better game to represent board gaming to someone coming to it for the first time. From right out of the gate, it lets you know that board games can do story, they can do excitement, they can do immersion. There's no compromise in this art form. It stands with novels and movies as something that can affect your life and forge memories that will stay with you. Play this one if you haven't. It's great. It's low on this list though, because I can't have the experience again. Like life, Pandemic Legacy Season 1 is ephemeral. One of the few war games on here, this was the first game to take Donald X. Vaccarino's earth-shifting mechanism of deck building and make it a mechanism rather than the whole thing. Charting the century and a half of conflict between France and Britain over Canada, A Few Acres of Snow is a knotty logistical puzzle that challenges your ability to marshal your forces by use of a brilliant deck building mechanism. Cards have multiple uses and can be used as settlers, ships or weapons. You need to acquire the right cards to be able to traverse the land and take over your opponent's stronghold. Like all great two-player games, this is a devilish tug of war where each punch can be countered and every incursion halted. The combat system is clever and unobtrusive, and the game offers incredible depth for its relative simplicity. This is Martin Wallace firing on all cylinders, a real cracker. Since Glory to Rome will never be republished due to a pretty incredible story, look it up on the internet, we have to satisfy ourselves with Carl Chuddock's repeated reiterations of the system. Mottainai is one of the best. This is more restrained than its older brother, less broken, but it's incredibly engrossing all the same. It would be useless to try and explain how the game plays, as Chuddock's games are so idiosyncratic that they try their hardest to be immune into rendering into words. Safe to say, though, that this is a very intense, very clever and beautifully designed card game. It delivers in 20 minutes what many games can't achieve in hours, and having a deck of unique cards with unique powers that help you trek through the challenges that this game presents is a true achievement. There are other Chuddock games coming up on this list, but you could do worse than give this one a go. When he's at his best, there are fewer better and fewer more unique than Carl Chuddock. This is a good one. Knizia at his finest and in his golden age. Through the Desert is vicious, simple and brilliant. Knizia is often derided for the theme in his games, but he's also rarely spoken of as one of the best abstract designers out there. Through the Desert has all the hallmarks of a great abstract game. Its rules are highly approachable, its interactions bloody and hilarious, and the ability to plan ahead leaves your brain tingling after a massively rewarding 20 minutes. Also, this is an abstract game that can be played by up to 4 players, not just the customary 2. In fact, the more the better, because the more congestion on the board, the more fun there is to be had. It can be the laziest of received wisdom to blindly assert that Knizia is brilliant. Don't blindly assert it though. Play Through the Desert and know what you're talking about. I am not home with really heavy games. My happy place is a nice mid-weight Euro with as bland a theme as possible. Lisboa is a brilliant design though. You are tasked with rebuilding Lisbon after a huge conflagration has destroyed it, and you do so by using loads of mechanisms. When Vital Lacerda is on form though, this obvious complexity is masked with a turn structure that's elegantly simple. This is the case with Lisboa. You do one relatively simple thing on your turn, then the engine of the game rumbles into life, and the ramifications of your simple action echo through the mechanisms. The rules teach will take forever, but this is a game designer at the absolute top of his abilities and probably the best game he's ever made. Also, Lisbon is bloody brilliant.
All right there, this is Bob, Ben's brother. How you doing? I hope all you people out in Internetville are doing all right. I'm all right, like I'm here in the dungeon. I mean studio, editing the video. Loves it, me. I just want to clarify, it may have looked like I complained last time, but I didn't. I loves editing the videos. I loves it. Any road. I'm here to talk about sponsor for this video, Wallace Designs. They bloody great, I tell you. You got Bloodstones, you got Fighting Fantasy, the board game. What else you got from them? You got Steam Power, Zero to Hero. You got everything. And all designed by board game expert and lover of the libation, Martin Wallace. In it. Any road. Just to say, go to wallacedesigns.com, buy all their stuff, and they'll love it, and I'll love it as well. Anyway, got to get back to editing the video, I'm not doing it under duress, honest. And also, I'm not plotting a rebellion that's gonna be bloody and full of distended ball bags. Bob out!
Trick-taking games have been a part of my life since I can remember. Therefore, I have a massively sentimental attachment to the good ones, and diamonds is one of them. Each suit has a special power, and if you can get those special powers right, you can clean up. What is great here, though, is the use of strategic imbalance. The diamond's power is far better than the others, so it's maximising the use of that power yourself and limiting it for others that propels this game. This is one that feels like it was designed in the mists of folklore, but Mike Fitzgerald did it a decade ago. A really brilliant and simple trick taker, and should be in the Trick Taker Hall of Fame if such a thing existed, which it doesn't. Start one. I know fuck all about Bavarian glassmaking, but I do know that I love this game. Uwe Rosenberg is the undisputed king of the Eurogame, and even minor titles like this one are brilliant. The heart of this game is the card play, trying to outthink your opponent to get the most actions. Great games pit you against the bastards around the table and have you climb into their heads. Glass Road does this. Couple that with a resource mechanism that is a work of engineering, and you have a wonderfully accessible Eurogame that has the ability to wow those who play it. When Rosenberg is good, there's none better, and Glass Road is a minor masterpiece. There's more to come from Uwe, though. This is higher than the first iteration of its legacy version for sentimental reasons. I'd just moved to a new city and wanted a pastime that wasn't getting cirrhosis of the liver, so I thought I'd buy a board game. The fact that I chose Pandemic, well, that's the reason I'm here today. I was blown away by its tension, its theme, its brilliant design. It felt like a disaster movie being played out on the table. This is the game that put cooperative play on the map because the design is flawless. There is no flab in this game. It's low on this list because I played the fuck out of it and don't want to play it anymore. That is the tragedy of the human brain. In its constant search for novelty, it can make you indifferent to the things you love. If you've never played Pandemic though, you will fall in love. It's a classic for a reason. Now, I don't play with myself very much, but when I do, I want it to be scary. Final Girl is a very clever gameplay system that uses its many expansions to highlight the creator's love for the horror genre. They know their horror, and this is shown in the variety of monsters that you can fight through the various expansions to the game. This is a simple to learn but difficult game that explores all the delicious tropes of 80s horror. It is so lovingly put together that you just don't feel the verisimilitude of the genre being explored, but you get that wonderful nostalgia, that feeling you got when you were watching movies that were far too old for you on your clunky VHS. I would own more of this and play more of this if I played with myself more. But frankly, I'm probably too busy wanking. A brilliantly funny game from a designer that has given up on humour. Last Will is Brewster's Millions in Victorian times. The way it finds ever more inventive ways for you to blow your money is delightful. I love taking my horse to the opera. I love letting my Mayfair pied-à-terre fall into disuse and its value plummet. This is a game that doesn't revel in your contribution to society, but delights in how efficient you could be at being a wastrel. Board gaming is incredibly conservative, whatever side of the political divide the gamer or the designer resides, but Last Will seems to embrace the anarchy of wastefulness. It's such a refreshing game to play in this constrained atmosphere of uncritical conformity that you're forced to navigate through to live in this world ravaged by social media. I don't want to be good. I want to be useless. I want to embrace the nihilism of destructiveness, and Last Will helps me do that. Thank you for watching. You can like the video if you liked the video, and sub and all that shit. You can join the best Discord in gaming by following the link below. And if you want to help these videos get made, you can be like these lovely people and back my Patreon. Right, I'm going somewhere and I'm going to indulge in my favourite pastime, and that is being useless. And the bit... You're tasked with rebuilding Lisbon after a huge clump... I can read the words. Oh, I was so proud of the masturbation joke that I fucked up the rest of the reading. Board gaming is incredibly conservative, whatever political... I can read. Hello, my name's Ben Maddox. I'm reading. That's a fucking quality gag, I'm not gonna lie to you.